Welcome to Breakfast at Barton. Instead of strawberries and cream, we've got, I don't know, a local brew and Tex-Mex. How about that? First of three streaming on ESPN+, Chaos and Chrome, as these two teams battle for playoff position as we head to the stretch run, just 3 weeks in the regular season. Here are our standings as of right now. Last night, Redwoods beat the Cannons, so it sets up pretty well for the Chrome. They've locked up a playoff spot. They're battling for position. Chaos, meanwhile, still have some work to do. Clark with this Canadian flavor, as Smith is going to have a lot of room. Now he opts to pass in front and scores. Smith had room to shoot it. Instead, he opted for the better shot, and it was Chris Cloutier in front, and he buries it. I was going to ask you about the Canadian nature of this team, especially on the offensive end. It's all Canadians for Chaos. What difference does that make in terms of their style of play?
They finish everything in tight. Dane Smith with an incredible pass and patience to understand Chris Cloutier is open on that low left wing. Dane Smith has exceptional vision. He leads the league in assists from the midfield after missing 3 games. To me, it's Tommy Schreiber and Dane Smith as passing midfielders.
Things going offensively. Scored a season-low 8 goals last week, Kark, and so far scoreless to the first half of the first quarter today. There's a cutter and a goal. Just as I say it, McIntosh ends the scoreless run, and we're knotted up at 1 apiece.
Cole Williams, second-year player, only second game of the season, 14 in white. The Johns Hopkins Lacrosse alums played attack and midfield during his tenure at Homewood. He knows that left wing all too well, and he spots McIntosh.
Goal line extended, all kinds of physicality, just 4 seconds to shoot. What will Frazier do? Probably wants to dump it in the corner. Takes a shot and scores, though. Says, no way, I'm not giving up possession. Buries it past Scanoni.
This is money on multiple levels. Top hand, quick wrists. It's what this shot's all about, but he does it with pressure on him. So Bernhardt's actually playing some pretty good defense, but Scanoni has no clue where that ball is, because look at the traffic he shoots it through. There's 4 bodies there. 2 Chaos, 2 Chrome. Like, Scanoni has no shot of tracking this ball. You see the approach by Bernhardt. He's out there, and he shoots underneath him. Players, and Byrne does like to test matchups, and no one's really gotten the best out of JT Giles Harris in 2022.
Mac O'Keefe winds up. I was just about to say, Clark, number 3 is somebody we hadn't talked about yet today at the 4-minute mark of this first quarter. And sure enough, he comes right to the floor and puts one home for Chaos.
No one, and I mean no one, in the history of Division I college lacrosse hit the back of the net more than Mac O'Keefe. And when you put him around these types of passers, with a guy like Dane Smith, and I mentioned earlier, X-ray vision, people work different off the ball when you have an elite passer like Dane Smith, because you know you'll be rewarded. And Mac O'Keefe knows when 92 has the ball, I better be prepared.
Here comes Colin Heacock, full head of steam. Shoots and scores.
Hammer time. A lot like Cole Williams, Colin Heacock spent a lot of his college career playing attack and midfield, so you can put him anywhere on the offensive set. And when you have a short stick on a big body like Heacock, the second he feels like he's free and there's no pressure, and there's nothing in terms of contact on his hands right there, his hands are free, it's a shooting gallery. Like, you have to approach Colin Heacock.
I think they're a good team, they're a good defense. We're just trying to take advantage of our opportunities, so.
Thanks for the time.
Got one right there. You can hear it light up that bench for the Chrome, and they needed to kind of wait for a run. It was almost like no runs last weekend. We got to get in a run this weekend. Now we're getting one here late in the going in this first quarter.
We got a ball game. The one thing when you watch Chaos on tape, defensively, they're really good one-on-one. There's been some issues off ball in terms of communication and allowing guys to roam free like that. Like, you don't want to press that much adjacent. McIntosh is in a very vulnerable spot for your defense. The Chrome offensive player here, Dylan Malloy, has not beaten Jared Newman. Why would you slide at Jason? Like, you're creating offense right there if you're the Chaos. Trust the long stick matchup with Jared Newman. Yeah, Byrne has a short stick right now. He's free from JT.
Beats Messenger easily and finds the top corner. You recognize the Kark.
Yeah, when you have a shorty on you like that, it's go time. Josh, how did you get that short stick matchup? I've seen JT on you all first quarter.
Yeah, Cookie just kind of attacked early there, and lucky enough to get a switch.
What's the book on Scanoni as a goaltender in terms of your shooting approach?
He's a pretty big boy, so you know what? We're trying not to really think about it and just trying to hit our spots.
Well, you hit your spot there. That was sweet. Thanks, Josh.
Under the helmet with Josh Byrne, powered by Sun Chlorella. As you can see, his 11th of the year. And I may mention, you know, he was one of those players who played in the NLL Championship Series, so he missed the first 3 weeks with this team. Then he was banged up in week 4. So all 10 of his goals on the season have come in his last 3 games. Now give him another one today.
I love his style. He's one of my favorite players to watch because, like, the stick is an extension of his body. He's so smooth. You know, when you think of smooth players, I think of Josh Byrne, I think of Lyle Thompson, where really their hands, their arms, and their stick are one. It's so crazy how good he is with that left hand.
Yeah, just an update on Adler. He came off grimacing in pain. He's been holding on to that right shoulder. Just something to keep a track of next face-off.
Yeah, thanks, Katie. We'll see that next face-off right now because Chrome knotting things up once again. This time, Brendan Nichtern, the rookie out of Army.
Yeah, this isn't a good situation, though, for the next face-off because Chaos has struggled in spots. At the stripe, Brendan Nichtern, I mentioned in the open, the steal of the draft. I had him rated as the number 3 prospect. He went number 11. And when I saw him with Logan Wisnauskas together, it's like 2 peas in a pod, man. A righty goal-scoring feeder and a lefty with a cannon. But Nichtern is not a one-trick pony. When you look at his stats and he leads the league in assists, you think passer first. I've watched him for 4 years at Army West Point. He is as dual threat as they come. Tough as nails, too.
Byrne on JT Giles Harris. Look at JT Giles Harris, got some help and caused a turnover. Now we're going quickly the other way with Terefenko. To Malloy. Shot, score! Nichtern right on the doorstep.
It's what happens when you have who I think the best defender in the league right now in JT Giles Harris. This isn't some random offensive player he's taking the ball away from, and that was some good help by Jesse Bernhardt too. So that was a combo deal that led to transition. Ryan Terefenko is one of the better short stick defensive midfielders in the league who has the green light to play offense. A little bit of a poor pass or deflection on the initial drop down to Brendan Nichtern.
Malloy
he gobbles it up.
Over into the stick of Byrne. Smith. Got O'Keefe coming out of the box. Steps down and scores.
I think they're giving him 2. That's a 2-point goal. I'll tell you what. This shot from a release perspective really threw me off because Mac O'Keefe rarely shoots from that release point. He likes to cock the stick back all the way by his ankles and shoot sidearm or underhand. That's a release from that spot I've rarely seen Mac O'Keefe get involved with. So from a goalie standpoint, you're so used to watching Mac O'Keefe on tape and tracking that low to high rip. Then he takes it up by his shoulders and his head. That's a totally different look from Mac O'Keefe from that spot.
Chaos retake the lead. Stay for Redwoods, and Nad had the rookies come out there and model the different, variations. Score by Kroll right out of the timeout. Great use of the timeout by Sudan, right? You keep possession. And then McIntosh beats Reardon. He looks like he's shaking up a little bit.
He's a really smart player. When he spoke to Katie, he said assisted goals, and that doesn't mean him passing them. It means him being involved in them. And we've seen 2 times now, Jordan McIntosh has found vulnerability in the Chaos defense off ball. And he's been masterful cutting and closing the deal. It's Matt Reese. Like these long poles, it's almost scary how hard they shoot.
Right.
You also don't track their shots.
Haas scores! I was thinking we hadn't had a whole lot in transition yet in this game, Clark, and Will Haas puts an end to that in a hurry.
I think he's one of the most underrated players in the PLL, Will Haas. And you see his speed. And in transition, you have Tarafanko who has a green light, and so does Will Haas. And that is a perfectly placed shot on a left-handed Blaze Reardon. Look at the placement of this shot. The progressive net just smacks in the lower right corner on a lefty goalie like Blaze Reardon. Tarafanko, Will Haas. Don't forget about Messenger, Mike Messenger. There, he leads the league in assists. And when he starts feeding and everyone gets involved, this offense can go to another level. Credit Jack Rowlett for really being on his hands when he's behind the cage.
Malloy scores. Back to his left.
Cotter in the open when we showed the starting lineups. I mentioned Dylan Malloy because we featured Logan Wisnauskas and Brendan Nichtern. Don't forget about this guy. He is a battering ram, bull-dodging attackman. 2016, won the Tewarton Award. Nation's top player for Brown that went to the Final Four. He loves contact. We saw it last night with Asher Nolting. Initiating contact, seeking it out. A lot of times, defenders dictate physicality in a matchup, right? And chasing guys down. Not Dylan Malloy.
Picked up definitely by the Chrome. Anderson, good two-way player. That's why he was able to pick up that ground ball, but a nicer play defensively by Jack Rowlett on the back end.
Yep, time that double.
And a defensive midfielder scores. Patrick Resch buries it. Juice goal for Chaos.
Jack Rowlett, 99, has a motor. Look at that sellout right there. That is beautiful. If Chaos wins the game, remember this play. 8:33 left after this goal in the third quarter. Jack Rowlett caused this offense to happen by selling out and double teaming and giving defensive midfielder Resch an opportunity in transition. A lot like Will Haas. Resch has the green light there. They don't respect him. They're worried too much about the Canadian scores. They leave the short stick defensive midfielder open.
Nowhere to go for Smith, defended nicely by Will Haas. Here's Byrne on JT Giles Harris. Uses the pick and bounces it in.
Masterful Cotter. Beating JT Giles Harris in space has been a daunting task for any attackman. Use the pick. Josh Byrne realizes that. And he is shot ready off the pick. You watch the pick by Berg. He is thinking shot right out of this pick. And we are all tied up in Denver. It's a tied game. It's the PLL. What else is new? As you heard him talking to the official how he's going to set the pick. So the guy's prepared not to call a moving pick. Like the pick is at the top in terms of what the Chaos want to do offensively.
Anderson left-handed. Showing his athleticism with the speed to get free. And beat Reardon.
I thought Justin Anderson had a really solid career at North Carolina. And he graduates last year. And he comes to the PLL. I thought he would be a guy that would crack the lineup and get some game action. I'm thinking his trajectory now is different. He plays really well on the defensive end, but he has shown aggressiveness to get to the rack.
12 to shoot. Smith, head up, looking for someone to pass it to. Bouncing in front dangerously. Now a shot on an open goal. Had Scanoni on his heels, and Kluche makes him pay.
Here's the deal. I mentioned earlier, Chaos struggles with ground balls. But that doesn't mean they struggle off of rebounds, because when you put 5-6 Canadians on the field together, they're masterful at rebounds. And that's exactly what this is. It's a deflection-type rebound that Chris Cloutier gobbles up and stays with his dominant left hand for that backhand shovel shot. You have to defend Chaos differently off a rebound or a loose ball in the offensive zone, because these Canadians will gobble up a loose ball like no talked about.
Right, that's the scrum you will not win.
That's all he talked about.
I'd back off with Gray. I'd just like, it's yours, dude. Shot, score, Chrome. That's Williams. Now that's what Williams does, isn't it? Big lefty cannon.
This is only the second week he's in the lineup, and he's made 2 big-time plays. One in the first quarter, and now in the fourth quarter. His dodging presence. He's getting a short stick every single time because Chaos rank him either number 5 or number 6 out of the 6 offensive players that are on the field at that time. They're not respecting him as a guy that can create at this type of level. So he goes after a smaller Glacini. Cole Williams is 6'4", 6'5". He's a big body that could shoot through pressure.
By Chrome, forcing the shot clock violation. Nick Grill wanted to get a delay of game, didn't, but here comes Chrome anyways. McIntosh inside, instead it's Malloy who scores. Look at that pass. Bypassed McIntosh and skipped it over to Malloy on the near side.
Starts on the defensive end, and I was giving props to the Chaos being so efficient in the 6-on-6 sets and how they own those type of matchups. Advantage Chrome, locking it down. They've got the short stick D-middies. They've got erasers like JT Giles Harris who can fuel this offense. And Dylan Malloy in this second half now has 2 monster goals. The one-on-one against Jared Newman when he bull rushed him. And this time plants his feet and lets it rip and beats Blaze stick side through Brendan Nichtern's stick behind the cage. Because a turnover there doesn't allow Chaos to flush out and have a fast break.
Wisnauskas inside and Anderson finishes. That was a great look by Wisnauskas because he had to handle the pass first and he knew he was going to 21.
He's the goal scorer, but today he's the passer. And over the course of his career at the University of Maryland, he went from straight goal scorer to ultimate offensive weapon because he added the pass game to his arsenal. Logan Wisnauskas is a rookie and a future star in this league, and the Chrome are up by 3.
We're looking forward to that. Now the advantage is 4 goals, and this is going to be a big mountain to climb for Chaos with 4:09 left to go in this contest.
I've always made the comparison, Logan Wisnauskas to Dirk Nowitzki, because I think they lull you to sleep a little bit and they have sneaky athleticism. Like right here, Logan gets the short stick. Great pick job in terms of changing that matchup, but look how calm and patient he is. Dips underneath. Look, it looks like he's in half motion there, but he's in all control mode.
Tewaaraton winner as the nation's best college lacrosse player, the Heisman Trophy, if you will, for college lacrosse. Lets it fly, stoinks off the helmet of Mike Manley, and the horn sounds. Impressive win for Chrome. They snapped their 3-game losing streak. And they take another step up in the standings, already having garnered a playoff spot.